CPAP isn't just plug and play. The biggest reason patients fail on CPAP is because we didn't prepare them and they feel too uncomfortable to keep going. But with the right tricks, it becomes the most effective, non-invasive tool in your toolkit. Let's talk about real-world CPAP, and that is making sure that we don't have leaks, coaching our patient properly, and making sure that our patient is comfortable enough that they don't try and rip this mask off. And the biggest reason that a patient will try and pull off a CPAP mask is because it's incredibly overwhelming at first. So in order to avoid this overwhelm, start with low pressures, like 5 centimeters of water, to give them a second to adjust. The second thing is coach them properly. Make sure that they understand that it's going to feel like that there's a really strong fan in their face. So our target is to try and get to 4 respirations, because typically after that, that's when we start to patient tolerate CPAP and they start to see the benefits. And so when you're coaching them, try and get them to breathe normally and just breathe 4 respirations. And if they do that, they will start to see the benefits of CPAP quite quickly. And the last tip is don't strap it tight right away. Hold it to the patient and get them to breathe these 4 breaths. Once they start feeling comfortable with the pressure, then you can strap it to the face. So remember that psychology matters here, is that you're fighting anxiety just as much as you're fighting physiology with this. If you hear any air blowing or whistling, they won't tolerate it for long because it's very uncomfortable. So the first thing that you should do is check the mask seal. Readjust the headgear or even switch to a different size mask to see if that's more comfortable. Another thing that you can do is use your hand to gently seal the mask or seal the leaks. That way you can tell exactly where they are and you can start to deal with it. Finally, if you have to, you can lift the mask off and reseat it, especially if it's blowing against facial contours that just don't seal properly. And if you have a patient that's still leaking, especially due to things like facial hair, you can use tape or tegaderms in order to seal off those areas, so that way we get a proper face seal. Now, unfortunately, you can't use an inline end-tidal CO2 to monitor ventilations. And the reason for this is that forward air from the CPAP limits any chance of a good reading. However, using a nasal cannula end-tidal CO2 can work, and placing it on your patient prior to putting the CPAP mask on can give you important information about your patient. Now, the gear is easy, but the key here is making sure that you know how to use it with real people. Real people have anxiety, have fear, and so if we're not coaching our patient and dealing with the anxiety portion of this patient, we're going to find that CPAP is going to fail more often than it works on our patients. Thanks for watching. If you want our CPAP and our skills checklist, all you need to do is click the link that's right down below in the description and we'll send it right to you.